Sausage, bacon, egg,
Crispy.
hash brown, yeah, crispy, beans.
Toast? White or brown?
White.
Game begin.
So we're going to be talking a bit about apprenticeships and all things BT. So I'm Maya and you are?
Ryan.
And can you tell me a little bit about your journey into BT?
Yeah, so when I left school, obviously I went straight to college. I'd done sports coaching and exercise there for 2 years. And then straight after that, when I had to get a job full time, I just went and worked on a building site for, I think it's about 18 months, just doing labouring, Monday to Friday, 8 till 4. I enjoyed it, to be fair, it was a good laugh. And then I tried uni, weren't for me.
What did you do at uni?
I went to do, I think it was sports science, I think
Okay.
it was a few years ago now, but I lasted about 6 months, weren't for me.
Not feeling
Nah.
it?
I dropped out of that and went and worked at the hospital, Heartlands, in Birmingham. Was doing porter in there. I think I'd done that for about 2 years. Again, enjoyed it, had a good laugh doing it. And then my uncle told me about BT. He said that there's obviously some apprenticeships like coming up in like sorting the Wi-Fi out and all that. So I had a look online. I didn't have a clue about any like Wi-Fi phones or anything. Just had a look online and went through that application. And then about 5 interviews later,
5 interviews?
something like that, yeah. 5 interviews later, I'll end up getting
Here you
it.
are.
Yeah.
So how did you find the application process in terms of like the interviews? Because I know that you said that you've done a few of the jobs previously. How was the interview process for BT different to getting a job somewhere else?
To be fair, with the jobs that I had before, obviously like being on a building site and stuff, I didn't really need any interviews for it. The same at the hospital really, I didn't really need an interview
Just
for
rock
that.
up?
Just rocked up, said a few things and that was it, here's your uniform. But now obviously with BT, with it being such like a big company, it was like, I think I had to do, obviously the application form, or like upload all my grades and stuff. And then I think it was like a test where I had to do like a scenario test, what I'd do in certain situations. And then I think it was like an interview, like a one-to-one thing. Then I had to film myself. So the camera had asked me questions and I'd have to film my response to the camera. And we only got like 2 takes to do it. And obviously you can imagine how like
Under pressure?
weird that is when you're answering to like a screen rather than someone talking to you. Like you can't just, what I'm doing now, like when you're like, And then the final stage was like a teams thing. Basically you got put into different teams, different scenarios. And then obviously a one-on-one interview at the end. And that was it really. And then obviously I heard a few months later that I got it. And
Got
then,
the role?
that was it.
So I know that you mentioned that you had other jobs before. Was there any skills that you picked up from those roles that have kind of helped you today, or was it completely new learning on the job?
I'd say probably the only skill was probably the sociable side of things. Like obviously with this job, I'm always in different premises and stuff like businesses, houses, around different people. I kind of have to speak to everyone, explain to them like what's going on. So I'd say the hospital work was probably good for that because obviously I met so many different people of all different ages as well. And obviously in terms of a building site, you can already imagine what that's like. That's just working and having a bit of banter like.
Yeah.
But I've never really struggled sociably anyway, but like it was more adapting to the people around me in like a work environment, like a professional environment kind of thing.
And talk me through your day, like door to door. So you've woke up in the morning, got yourself ready, you go into work. I know it's a little bit different to some of the people that I've spoken to that are office based. So what does your day look like?
So I'd wake up in the morning, we're on a system called SFS and all our jobs come down on that. They normally come in at about 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Do you have to be up for that time?
No, you don't have to be up for it.
Oh, okay.
That's normally what time they filter down. So they're all in order for us. They've got the postcode, job description, what you got to do. We start work at 8, but obviously you have to go out at 8, do your vehicle checks and all that, which takes about 10 minutes, check all your tyres and all that sort of stuff. Most days probably have 4 jobs, sometimes 3, very occasionally 5. If it's 4, usually 2 in the morning, which is the 8 until 1 slot, and then 2 in the afternoon, 1 till 5. Can be restaurants, shops, garages, loads, anything really.
And because you're on, say, the road from 8 a.m, you kind of go into different locations, different postcodes. How do you find the work-life balance in terms of maybe it's not as flexible as some office jobs?
No, so it's all right, to be fair. So I do a lot of driving throughout the day. My sort of area covers a massive area kind of thing, and I think there's only about 10 of us who sort of do it. So we go from like Birmingham down to like Oxford, Wickham.
Oh, quite a distance there.
Telford, Shrewsbury, Nottingham, Leicester, Derby, all of that. So there's a lot of travelling. So in terms of the flexibility, it's kind of in your own time. Not in your own time. You have to stick to like the guidelines a bit, but like it's very flexible in terms if you want to stop off and get a coffee, like you can. If you want to kind of, travel through your lunch to save you, having 40 minutes longer at the end of the day, then you can. So in terms of flexibility, it's good, to be fair. It works for me. So.
Do you drive a BT van?
Yeah.
I always see them on the road and wonder, like, do you keep them at home?
Yeah. We can keep them at home or at the exchanges, yeah. So I keep mine just outside the house at home, yeah.
And in terms of like on-the-job training, so when you first started, obviously this is completely new to you. You've had some like construction experience before, but it's quite different, isn't it? Yeah. So were you like budded up with someone, or how did the training work at the start?
Yeah, I think it was a week in Northampton for my induction, mixed with a few days in London. And then when I sort of got into my team in Birmingham, it weren't like I had one specific sort of buddy that I was going out with. It was kind of a bit of everyone. Like, so at the start I was like doing a bit of data, and to be fair, I weren't really enjoying it. I was all right with the work, like the workload and that were fine, but I think the data side of things was just a bit boring really. It's all like laptop based, like coding and all of that kind of thing. And I was going to leave after about 6 months, something like that.
Really?
Six to 8 months or something. And obviously I told my manager, met with him. We kind of made like a mind map on the board of like what's going wrong, like what am I not enjoying. And it did just come down to the fact that I was only sort of seeing the data side of things rather than, I didn't know like the other side of things as well. And then a manager who's based in London, who I'd done a few of my induction days with, she contacted me on Teams and was just like, I've heard you're going to leave, like be ashamed to lose you kind of thing. Do you want to come and meet with me in Northampton at the exchange and we'll go through some things? I was like, why not?
Why not?
Might as well. So I didn't think my mind would be changed. To be fair, I was done. And I went down there, sat with her for about an hour. Again, just mind mapped some things, made a checklist of what I've got to do, things that I like want to see and all of that kind of thing, and never looked back from them really. But yeah, changed from the data side of things to
more like a hands-on role.
Not so much laptop based, coding based, all of that kind of thing. So.
And in terms of salary, obviously you do sometimes quite long days, you can be travelling quite long hours and things like that. How has that differed from previous roles that you maybe had on a site or in the hospital?
Very different, to be fair. Like obviously, when I was on site, it was kind of sites all just around Birmingham. I was in my own car, so weren't really far travelling. Obviously here, I'm travelling sort of up and down the country kind of thing. It can be hour and a half drives, hour and 40-minute drives, and then obviously if you do that 3 times a day, it kind of all adds up. But yeah, in terms of the salary thing, like when I first started as an apprentice, starting wage as an apprentice was quite low, to be fair. Even when I looked at joining BT, I did think like it was probably less than what I was on before I started, like at the hospital.
Right.
So it's probably less than what I was on, but then.
So you took a bit of a pay cut?
Yeah, so I took a pay cut, obviously to kind of advance in a career further down the line. First year, I struggled a bit with the money. Like when I first qualified and I got the rise, it still wasn't as much as what I thought it was going to be. But then I spoke to the tax office, and it turns out that for the past 12 months or 14 months, I've been paying double tax because they thought I was still working at the hospital as well. So I was paying 2.
Oh, so you got a nice rebate.
So I was paying 2 different sets of tax for about a year. So that probably explained why the apprenticeship money was so low.
Yeah, you were having a panic thinking.
And then when I first
on?
passed, I was like I'd done all of that for hardly anything. But then obviously the tax, I got a rebate from it, and then now my wage literally probably almost doubled. So I'm happy with it now, to be fair.
one last question would be, obviously you're customer facing, so you're going out to different sites, premises, businesses, homes. How do you sometimes deal with the customers that you meet? Because not everybody is the same. And what happens if you're late?
To be fair, a lot of customers are very understanding. I'm quite good at communicating with them in terms of, before I set off in the morning, obviously on our job sheet we'll always get given the customer's contact details anyway. So I'll always ring them and let them know what time I'm going to be there or what time I'm going to be about. And they're sound, and obviously some are nicer than others, some have had better experiences with BT than others. I understand obviously their frustrations when they've been without Wi-Fi, especially like shops and stuff, because obviously it's what you rely on really, ain't it? But I try to just explain to them it's not my fault. I've come to fix it, rather than like I'm not the one who caused it. I've come to sort of fix it.
And if a family or a friend wanted to join the same apprenticeship course that you did, what piece of advice would you give them?
Don't do it. No, I'm joking. It's quite easy. Like, I'd never had any experience of any telecoms background at all. Even like applying for a job online, really, I'd never done it before. And the whole interview applying process was very easy, to be fair. I mean, there was quite a few stages to it, but again, it goes back to the communication of they'd outline everything on an email, they'd make it very clear what you've got to do next, when the next set of interviews are, when the next thing's due. So everything's always explained and always...
You had a lot of help along the way.
Yeah, always detailed to you, and they try and simplify it as much as they can for you. And obviously that helped me with no telecoms background, and then with the out of work stuff in terms of the assignment stuff made so simple, it just made it easier when I was out on the job, just learning on the job, just made it loads easier really. So I'd say do it.
Do it.
Why not?
That's the message, do
Yeah.
it.
Sorted, yeah?
Good.
Amazing. You're finished.
And breathe.
Game over.